Hello guys, I am Rishabh and today I'll be giving you the tutorial of WebODM. So let's just quickly get into it. So yeah, in first part I'll show you how to add a project. So as you can see, this is the interface. Yeah, and from here we can add a project. Let's first do that. Uh, we'll give it a name and a description. Let me just quickly type in. Yep. Now we can select images and GCP. So today we'll use it without GCP and we'll cover image upload with GCP in a separate video. Right? Yeah. So we selected our images. We can name this. It will be created as a task. We can name this task as demo for now. You can keep the processing node as auto. Options for generating the outputs. Yeah, so from this you can see there's a drop down. You can select there are multiple options, but for now let's just go with default and see what all output it will generate. Okay, resizing images, yes, resizing it to 2048 pixel. All right, I'm confirming it. Okay, now you can see that images are getting uploaded. And once it is done, now yeah, see it has started resizing these images. And now it has started the processing. Right, now we can see our project is completed. The whole processing took around 1 hour and 26 minutes to process the 70 images. Let's check the details. It has the 4 options over here. Let's just check the download assets. So here there are multiple options available: orthophoto in GeoTIFF format, orthophoto tiles, surface model tiles, point clouds, or you can download all these files as a single zip file by all assets option. View map shows the 2D view of the map and shows some of the outputs like orthomosaic, plant health. 3D view model shows the point clouds and 3D mesh. Let's just go ahead and see what is there in the 2D view. Alright, so as you can see, the orthophoto is created in the 2D view map. I'm not sure if you can clearly see the difference because the base layer right now is the Google Hybrid map. Let's just go full screen to have a better view. Alright, so now you can see there are multiple options to zoom in, zoom out, and you saw we did the full screen from here. And on the right hand side there are multiple options available. Let's just quickly go ahead and see what all options are available over here. So first one is the layers. Cameras, yeah, this layer shows us the images taken at different points through the drone. uh, yes, you can see the orthomosaic or orthophoto. You can see the orthophoto over here. Also, you can export this orthophoto in a GeoTIFF format directly from here. There is also an option to change the colors of our orthomosaic layers. Colors, like you can change hue, saturation, highlights and shadows by selecting these options. Now let's check the base maps. what all other base maps available except Google Maps Hybrid. As you can see, current view is the Google Maps Hybrid. We also have the Esri satellite view. Alright, so now the difference is quite visible in the orthomosaic in the base map. So these are just the different options available. Next is the OSM MapNet, yeah, kind of street view. If needed, you can also import a custom map as your base layer. All you need to do is select this option and follow the format specified over here. It is the tile format basically. Also, you can remove all the base maps and keep it as none. Okay, so now the orthomosaic is clearly visible, and let's go ahead with this view for the rest of our video. There's an option to import measurement, import GeoJSON files or shape files. We can import measurements and few other stuff. We'll get back to this option later. For now, let's just quickly jump onto the measurements and let's see what all measurements we can do in an orthomosaic. So it's a simple interface where we get simply an option to create a new measurement and export these measurements. So let's just start with calculating the path distance of this road over here. You left click on the road and it will start creating the points. You can drag the map with the left click and you can continue with making the path. Now as you can see on the right hand side, the path distance is 640 meters. It is also giving the distance in the feet. Alright, so that's how you calculate the path distance. Let's just quickly go ahead and calculate the area of this landmass. Again, let me quickly draw the points and finish the measurement. See, now it is calculating the area, it has calculated the perimeter, and it is also calculating the volume of this landmass. We need the area 1997 square meters, or it is also giving it in acres. Alright, the perimeter is 183.52 meters. So let's just export this measurement in GeoJSON format and we'll try and import it later as a separate layer. Let me just save it on my desktop. Okay, let me just delete it for now, and let's go ahead and also try and calculate the volume. So let me find a good building. Okay, yeah, so let me just calculate the volume of this structure over here. Again, by left clicking, you select all the points, finish the measurement, and it will start calculating the volume. So for calculating the volume, it uses the DSM as the base layer, where it calculates the volume of the structure over the landmass. So you can see the volume that we have got is 2633 cubic meters. Alright, so these are basically all the measurements that you can do in an orthomosaic in the WebODM interface. Okay, so let's go ahead and import our measurements which we have done earlier. So yeah, I'm importing two areas. The second one I did it in front of you, and I already had first one with me. So you can see the length, area, and volume of both of these land masses. So these are imported as different layers. Let's go ahead and check the contours. You can select the interval. It is basically the difference between two contour lines. uh, at the difference is elevation difference. In DSM, it uses DSM layer for creating contour lines. In simplification, it just smoothens the contour line that is created. Let's just keep it normal for now. It basically negates the 0.2 meter difference in a single contour line. Now coming to the projection, WebMarketer is the most widely used projection for viewing the maps. So let's just generate the contour lines. Alright, so it has created. If you are creating it on a clear land, you will be able to see the elevation in a much better way. Uh, the thing is, we already have structures on the land, such as these buildings and different stuff. So we can export this elevation map into 4 different options. There are also few other options apart from these on the right hand side. Plant health. This is another output created. So again, this is not the very ideal map to use this option, but basically it shows the vegetation. We can check from the layers. It has run the algorithm NDVI algorithm, and there are multiple algorithms to run. So this is just an additional feature in the WebODM to check the vegetation in the area. Let's just also check the surface model output. So this is the DSM output that is generated and visible in 2D view. Basically, blue is the lowest elevation point in the map. Through the layers, you can check blue is the lowest point in the map and red is the highest point. Also, you can change the color scheme depending on the use case. But the jet color scheme is most widely used to see the elevation. Again, the blue shows the lowest part of the map. Over here you can see, and red is the topmost part of any structure in the map. So these are all the important features in the WebODM in a 2D view map. Okay, you can also use the sharing option to probably share with this your teammate or your client. With using the link, you can share the map directly and they can see the map in different views and create measurements over it. Also, there is an option for HTML iframe to load this map into your website. Alright, so that's all for today. In the next video, we will be covering the 3D map option, and we will see what all different options are available, like point clouds in 3D mesh. Thank you.